Welcome to this week's edition of the Casual Shooters Podcast. This week, you get me, you get Leo,
Yo,
and you get Chris.
hey.
This week, we also have two guests, not just one, but two. We're going to double your pleasure. We want to welcome Jeremy and Marc to the show. Let me bring them in here. Guys, go ahead and go ahead and say hello real quick.
Hey, good evening.
Hello, everybody.
And we'll go alphabetically with the first name. And Jeremy, take a moment and introduce yourself.
My name is Lieutenant Jeremy Lightner. I'm a Nurse Corps officer in the Navy, prior Fleet Marine Force Corpsman. I've been in the Navy about 17 years and been competing for about 10 years and representing the Navy while doing so for the past 3 years.
Marc?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lieutenant Marc Santos. I'm a Supply Corps officer currently stationed at DLA Land and Maritime in Columbus, Ohio. My wife's still confused about those orders, but I get to keep my guns. I'm just coming off of sea duty, off of an amphib, so I love my Marines. I've been in the Navy 5 years. It'll be 6 in September, and I'm a member of the action shooting team.
Wow, quite the difference in career path and time in service.
Yeah.
So, Jeremy, you're stationed down in the Virginia Beach area, Norfolk?
I am. I'm at Naval Medical Center, Portsmouth. I work in the emergency department there.
Okay. And you, Marc, did you say you were in Ohio?
Yes, DLA Land and Maritime in Columbus, Ohio. So what's great about being a Supply Corps officer is they can put you everywhere, whether it's with SEALs, submarines, ships, aircraft, and we actually have an admiral down here too, which is pretty fun.
Or
So
that huge East Coast port in Ohio?
I know. I'm just happy they got rid of the blue camouflage, so I don't have to wear that anymore. It's going to be weird.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
So they can see you when you go overboard.
Yeah, or I could lie down and pretend to be a puddle. So
Nice. All right. I don't know if you guys have listened to I guess you did listen to the Air Force episode. So you kind of know the format. We're going to start with a few personal questions to get to know you a little better. We're going to start with, we'll go for the first 5 questions. We'll keep the same order. After that, there's just a bunch of different questions and either one of you can answer. But we'll start going alphabetical and we'll start with favorite movie.
Rambo First Blood.
Nice choice. I like it.
for me, my favorite movie is Mr. Roberts. It's an older one with Henry Fonda, but it's the best Navy movie out there. Just saying, you should check it out. It's basically a bunch of it's just a bunch of JOs trying to get their lieutenant commander boss upset and fight for their sailors. It's a good time.
I actually did that play.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I was a drunk guy that came in and got dropped on deck.
Now, is your favorite? Would your favorite TV show be McHale's Navy then?
No, probably not. So my favorite television show is probably The Pacific, because it keeps it real. I have a lot of friends that like Band of Brothers, and they bully me because I like The Pacific more. But that episode when they're in Australia tearing up the town, I've witnessed that in Rio de Janeiro and Barbados. So it brings back some fond memories.
Okay. We're going to get into that one later.
All right.
All right. So the next one is favorite book.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of reading other than what's required for work. But I would say the book that's resonated with me in my life over the past 10 or 12 years is probably Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's probably it.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, my favorite book. So if it's Joe Navy motivational book, I like Get Your Ship Together by retired Captain Absinoff. It's a really good book. It teaches you how to be creative when leading. But the other one I like is Sun Tzu, The Art of War. Even though it's a little bit outdated, it's pretty amazing about how much thought people put into planning and strategy back in the day. So it's a good one. It's also how I justified switching guns a lot, because you should master all weapons, like you said. So, yeah.
Okay.
Smart.
That was a challenging book to read there, Mark, and that was definitely required reading for the Navy, joint professional military education. Didn't enjoy it like you did.
Okay. You have to take it in chunks.
Yeah.
So just for the audience's sake, so that they understand, both Jeremy and Mark, while they say they're lieutenants, if they were in any other branch of service, they would be a captain. They have 2 silver bars. So, and Mark just said captain in the Navy, which is actually a full bird colonel in every other service. So put that out there now so everybody understands where we sit.
They're kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
It's easy to like, oh, what is he, a butter bar? No, not exactly.
Right.
All right. Favorite. This is a Chris question right here. A Chris special. What's your favorite superhero?
Favorite superhero, Wolverine,
Ah, very nice.
for sure.
Ooh, for me, I kind of like the anti-hero. I'm gonna wave my nerd flag like Nick Freilich in the Air Force shooting team, but I like the Juggernaut when he lost his powers and he tried to be a good guy and he was like helping kids that were getting bullied out. It's it was a fun comic to read.
Yeah. I remember that series. That was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I knew you were a man of culture. You got that nice spread. You know what I'm talking about.
I thought you were going to say Sun Tzu again. I'm disappointed.
I thought one of you guys would have said Aquaman, but that's cool. Whatever.
He doesn't like our sonar, so.
Bet not.
Touche.
Favorite gun and caliber?
I would go with a generic saying AR-15, 223. I shoot a JP CTR2 presentation grade, which I happen to bring with me.
Nice.
That's definitely my favorite gun and caliber. Hunt with it, shoot with it, compete with it. You can do anything with it. You can't conceal it very well, though.
What's the LPVO you have on there?
This is a Vortex 1x6 Razor. It's old school. I've had it since probably the month they came out with it, like 7-8 years ago.
Okay, not a sponsor, but very nice.
It's a great setup.
Yeah.
All right. Mark.
For me, that's like asking me which child to save, and I don't have any children. But any weapon, any classic combat fighting handgun, like the Browning High Power, or I'll just say generic 1911 and 45, just because of its rich history. And also, if you're a Filipino like I am, and you don't own a 1911, then shame on you, your family, and your cow. So
I said that when we interviewed Kevin Garospi.
mm-hmm.
You know, I have to jump on that bandwagon. You know, so AR-15 is absolutely my favorite gun to shoot. But I collect 1911s. I have about 15 World War I, World War II guns.
Pretty bad.
Including a 1912 U.S. Navy 4-digit serial number. I should have brought it. It's in my safe, but it's a beautiful gun.
Yeah.
And I want to have all of them. So if anybody has those, I'd like to buy them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Show and
And
tell
I also
again.
have a 1851 Cimarron. It's chambered in .38 special. The electrical officer, the navigator, and the assistant chief engineer. It was the assistant chief engineer's last underway. I said, you know what? Let's do a group buy of revolvers. So I called some of our friends at Freedom Shooting Center, Virginia Beach. He ordered them. I got this one. The rest of them got Vaqueros because they're noobs. They understand that 45 long Colt is expensive. But my buddy that ordered them, his boss got angry. He's like, they paid for these, right? I'm like, no, they'll be back in a couple of months to pay for them. So they actually had a tongue-in-cheek bet if they were actually going to get picked up or not. So lo and behold, 4 junior Navy officers come in. I think we were wearing our floral visors because we're goons. And we all picked them up and paid cash just because we could have made our friend very happy. So, yeah. But I like this one. It turns a lot of heads. It's not black powder, but it's a fun gun to shoot with rich history.
So I'm hearing you shoot revolver.
I'm no, don't tempt me. I've already I was already talking to Caleb Giddings on which 9mm revolver to buy the other day. So
be careful, he'll buy it. He switches calibers and switches divisions every 6 months.
It's bad.
That's okay. Him and 5 other people in America will shoot revolver from now on.
That's right. He has a chance. You could be number 1 pretty quick, maybe.
Sure.
I don't know. They got some good revolver shooters out there, like Michael Pogge and Jeremy Kulik could still throw down, and Caleb also. So
Mike Danchik's not too bad either.
And if you see either one of them while you're shooting, tell them we want them on the show. Just
all right, shameless plug. I'll let them know.
yeah, I'll do it. I don't care.
Okay.
It would be pretty interesting to see you show up with that pistol, that revolver, at a USPSA match. That would be impressive.
No, I would not be that guy. I went to a 2-gun match one time. Somebody showed up with a bolt-action Remington and a revolver. I switched squads because I'll tell you right now, if you're going to be weird, you got to be able to back it up. I shot Steel Challenge Area 5 with someone called the Sci-Fi Cowboy, Steve, really good guy. He was shooting a lever action and a revolver, but he was quick with it. This guy at this 2-gun match I went to a couple of years ago, he was not. So his squad left an hour and a half later than everyone else.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
Ooh, that's painful.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
2-gun always brings out some interesting folks.
Yeah, you got rock stars and rock lobsters. That's all I'm going to say.
I want to play that song.
All right, so there's a little bit of lead into this last question. So I spent 2 years on Oki, absolutely loved it. Leo spent some time butt naked in a foreign country on the steps of a police station at the age of 16, not so sure he loved it.
Every second of it.
Chris spent time in Germany with the World League of American Football, pretty sure he enjoyed it over there.
Yes.
Now, so what was or is your favorite duty station, your dream duty station, or your favorite port visited?
I could say, you could say I've been fortunate or unfortunate in my 17 years in the Navy. I haven't been able to travel OCONUS very much. I've been to Iraq, I've been to Qatar, Kuwait, and a quick stint in Germany. I guess I would have to say because of that, Qatar, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, would have been my favorite port visited. Nice country, good food, and it wasn't Iraq.
It's kind of a low bar, but good job.
Touche.
Nice. Yeah, I was born and raised on Guam. I don't really want to go back, but my favorite duty station, it's not too much duty station, but it's more of the job and the people I serve with. But my favorite and not favorite port call was probably Rio de Janeiro when we went down there. I had enough of Brazil for one lifetime. It's yeah.
Sorry, Brazil.
It's interesting.
We'll just leave it with the right?
Yeah.
So how did you?
There's a story about that, but I'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll do that off air.
Yeah.
How did you end up in Rio? What was that?
So the ship I was on I was on the LSD 50, the USS Carter Hall. I got
right behind you.
Yep, and I still got my command cover. So we are the short bus of the amphibs, the smallest amphibious assault ship. So we have about 30 officers on board and 300 enlisted, and we could take up to 500 Marines if we needed to. So they tasked us with going down to Rio de Janeiro by ourselves to help participate in UNITAS LX. A lot of the sailors that might be watching the show will know what UNITAS is. You basically go down to South America and you practice with other neighboring countries. And they sent us down there because they were also practicing a humanitarian aid. So most war exercises with other countries, you're hunting submarines, pretending to shoot down aircrafts. But this one was neat because we were actually simulating a hurricane hitting, landing, unloading supplies. So it was a lot of moving pieces. And just a funny story about Brazil is like when we pulled in the port, we're the biggest, ugliest American ship there. It's about 7:30. We dropped the anchor for the anchorage, and it's 8 o'clock. And at 08, they play colors. So they played the American national anthem. We raised up the flag. A bunch of the little ships are coming around us, and I'm up there at the bridge. So even though I'm a supply officer, I was actually ATWO, anti-terrorist watch officer. So I had batteries release authority. So I was in charge of all the gun mounts on the ship. It's only staff officer with that. But so after we set down the anchor, we did the anthem. Everybody's like, "Oh wow, bravo, bravo, bravo!" But while that was happening, we were preparing to land a Marine. So after the last short notes of the anthem, you hear "Deploy the Amphibious Landing Force." Metallica blasts on the 1MC. The stern gate just erupts with AAVs rolling out. All these ships and pleasure crafts, they're freaking out, like going away. It's like, oh my God, the Americans are invading. And my buddy up there in the bridge, he was just like, it's like, well, make sure nobody gets close. And it's like, some drug lord at a favela is probably freaking out right now, but I think we made a good impression. But no, Brazil was nice. Everybody was there is very, very cool. My wife's Peruvian Brazilian, so she explained to me the culture, and it's a good time. So if anyone's in the Navy and you have a chance to go to Unitas, you take that and run. It's fun. I'm sorry if I talk too much there, but it's a good time.
No, that was good. It's interesting. You're Filipino, but you grew up on Guam?
Correct.
My kids' grandmother on their mother's side is from the island of Guam.
Okay, awesome.
Their grandfather was in the Air Force back during the 60s and 70s, retired early 80s. So that's how they met. So small world.
That's crazy.
And I've been to the Philippines 3 times.
Okay.
You guys
Nice.
are probably
Enjoyed
cousins. It's in the eyes.
All right.
You can see it.
Yeah.
Now, with the rest of these, I don't care who goes first. Doesn't matter to me. But at what age did you guys start shooting in general and then shooting competitively?
I started shooting with my grandfather, 22 revolvers and 22 single shot, when I was in about 5th grade on his farm. And then I continued to have an interest in firearms ever since then. Middle school, I had a job at a marina actually in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where I'm from. And there were some guys that were in their 20s and they had guns, and they'd take me to the range and we'd go shooting. And high school, that continued on. I always tell the story about how I actually became a competitive shooter, though. Continued shooting at the range, weekly for a long period of time. And I was happy with my groups that were 10 inches at 100 yards, 15 inches with my 25-06 because I didn't know any better. And an old man came up to me and he was like, accuracy's in the brass and you've got to save your brass and reload. And I'm like, this guy. I'd see him about once a week, and one day he finally showed me his target. And his target was a 5-shot group into the size of a nickel, and caught my attention. He taught me to reload, taught me to shoot. And then another gentleman took me under his wing and taught me how to shoot speed shooting, and that started around 2010. And it's just evolved since then.
All right, so while we're on it with you, what do you shoot in USPSA?
In USPSA, I started out by shooting limited, and that's all I ever shot was limited. I made it up to alpha class, like 84% or 83% alpha. And carbine and 3-gun was always more my game, actually. And then PCC became a thing, and I was always good with the carbine. It was definitely my best game of the 3 guns when I would compete in 3 guns competitions. And PCC, I think I made Grandmaster in that within a month or 2, shooting 2 matches a week. We had weekday matches in Florida where I was stationed in Gainesville, Florida, recruiting medical officers out of University of Florida, and started just rocking that for a while. Really enjoy it, still enjoy it, but pistol is definitely just more challenging to master. And I have a much greater respect for the people that are grandmasters with pistol than those of PCC. Although I am a grandmaster with PCC, it just comes natural and very easy to me.
And no shame in that.
Humble brag.
That's still
He's
impressive.
The team ringer. Shh.
That's
we won't tell anybody.
That's got to be a pretty sweet gig to be stationed in Gainesville, Georgia Gainesville, Florida, when you're from Florida, doing a recruiting job.
Yeah, it was a pretty awesome gig. I had a range. I purchased my house 4 minutes from Shoot GTR, which is a shooting range there, and that was strategic. I would shoot 5 days a week, a match twice a week, and it was about as good as it gets as far as having the ability to train and recruiting right there out of University of Florida and being close to family. That was definitely the dream job, and I would love to have that job again. It was great.
I can imagine.
I hope you're listening, Navy.
Cough, cough, hint, hint. Yeah. That's awesome.
All right, Marc.
So, growing up in Guam, there's very, very strict gun laws. I did JROTC. I played with air rifle for a bit, and the Master Chief and the commander there, they planted the seeds for my affinity for joining the Navy. They actually enrolled me in CMP. So my CMP number, I think, is only 5 digits. It throws a lot of people off because I don't shoot CMP. And then in college, I decided to pick up a hobby. I'm finally gone from Guam, and I remember watching Top Shot, much to the dismay of, Caleb, JJ, Chris Tilley. I tell him, like, I know you from Top Shot. I'm like, I hate you. But a lot of the cool Filipino role models, they shot. So I quit another hobby, nerd alert. It's Magic the Gathering. I had some cards from 2002 I forgot about. Then by 2012, I think I had a copy of one card that was 50 cents back then, skyrocketed to $30, $40 a copy. So I sold all of them, and I went to a gun store to buy my first handgun. This was about 2013. It was a USP 9, so I learned how to shoot on double single action guns, and it was $600. The owner made me a deal, and I shot IDPA, and the match director was actually a distinguished rifleman for CMP. And then from then on, I just started picking up action shooting, dry firing, got my NRA instructor certs. I enjoyed it. And at Sea Duty, I like switching guns around. Like, I went more for the social stuff. I never took it too seriously. But I find myself now, Jeremy's been helping me a lot with this, but I'm slowly getting to the point where I want to be more serious, a bigger contender. So I shot the Buckeye Blast. That was my first state match. I just shot Area 5 Steel Challenge. And instead of like running around with different guns, I'm actually being good for carry optics and open. I have 2 guns. So like if one goes down to the big match, I could swap it out, and also I could practice. So I'm just having that paradigm shift of being a more social shooter, having fun and teaching to, hey, let me see if I have the chops to be a serious competitor in the game.
Okay, so what division are you shooting? Like when you just shot Buckeye Blast, what division were you shooting?
I was shooting open. So this year I was supposed to shoot open. Then I got a slot for Nats for carry optics in October. So now I'll be shooting carry optics for a bit. And I've had some support. Ironically, the match director that, because you know how national slots are given out by clubs, right? They're allocated a certain number. The match director at Pickaway County Sportsman Club, he was a Marine. And then he saw me shooting as like, hey, I'm sending Tony to shoot PCC. I got a carry optic slot. It's like, it's going to you, all right? It's like, no pressure. It's like, okay, cool. But, it's different. Buckeye Blast really opened my eyes on how different a state level match is versus, a local. And I did group with 2 of my mentors, John Vlieger and Chris Keene. They're GMs in open. And it really opened my eyes to see what intensity is required to perform at that. And also Jeremy has that intensity too. It's wild. So it's something I'm going to work on, but I think it'll be a good time. I'm on shore duty, so the ship's not pulling me away. I remember I got a little upset. I was like, hey, I'm improving. It's like, nah, bro, we need you out in the ocean for 3 months, and it diminishes. But I'm at a point now, and, I'm only 31, so I got some time.
So is there any opportunity on Sea Duty to dry fire?
There is. So the big reason that I like being on the team is that it motivates me to be a better worker at my command, a good performer. Because if you're a good performer at your command, they will help you out. The last couple of big matches I've gone to, I got TAD orders. I didn't have to take leave. My last 2 commanding officers on the ship, they trusted me with weapons release authority. And for a staff officer, not conventional, a staff officer like myself or Jeremy, that's almost unheard of. And they actually allowed me to have a cert pistol on board to practice. And I worked with the gunner's mate chief and some other sailors. So I actually had my own duty rig based with stuff on the supply system so I could practice, and I'll sometimes compete with it. So there is opportunity to dry fire, but you have to make that way. And by making it that way, you have to have that buy-in and have sustained superior performance and be an asset to your command. Because if you're just dead weight to them, they won't be as compelled to help you out.
Yeah, I understand that. John Vlieger's another guy who I eventually want to get on here. He's a pretty high level shooter.
That man's intense. He's a really good guy. Army. I'm not going to fault him for it, but he puts in the work, and he's like very intense. I know with his work schedule now, he's actually getting to the point where he's shooting like 3 matches a week, but he's really salt of earth. He'll tell you how it is. So yeah, if you can get him on the show, that'd be good. But you're going to be fighting his schedule, so.
Right. That's how, just like with you guys.
Yeah. And he looks
everybody
246.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So there was a lot of stuff you guys talked about that we're going to get into. I almost jumped around on the questions real quick, but I found plenty of information on the line about the rifle and pistol teams. And I can learn all I want about special operations on the line. The Navy action shooting team, there's nothing out there. You guys are harder to find information than it is special ops. So how does somebody find out about the action shooting team in the Navy, and how do they join?
So currently we're a subcomponent of the United States Navy marksmanship team, and we're the action component. We're comprised of approximately 10 shooters across the country. In order to be on the shooting team, you have to be a B class or higher USPSA shooter, and you have to have competed in national level matches or area level matches. If you shoot other disciplines such as 3-gun, I consider myself a 3-gunner more than a USPSA shooter all day long. I shoot USPSA for practice. The guys don't like that, but it's what I do. I really like 3-gun. Then I would obviously, and Marc, Santos, and I could assess your scores in the matches you've shot to see if you'd be eligible to join. The true benefits of being a member of the team is the pride in representing the United States Navy while on the range. And also, like Marc said earlier, possibly getting the buy-in from your command to get those non-funded orders, to get TAD, to go shoot. And, what's better than free time off? To me, nothing. It's not about the money. It's about the time off. Working hours to go shoot is pretty awesome. So to find information about us, there is a site. Basically, all it's going to say is my name, action director, and a quick bio about me. Beyond that, people would have to find me Facebook, global email, or word of mouth. We're still growing. We're still working on it. There is a Facebook Navy marksmanship team page, and people know who I am on there, of course, if they have an interest in action shooting. They're usually directed to me by Commander Mahalik, whom is the OIC of the entire marksmanship team. And then we give tips and tricks to people, and we give them the pointers on how to officially represent. I get people probably every 2 weeks wanting to join the team and wanting to wear the jersey. And I ask them, well, how many matches have you shot? And they're like, oh, I've never shot a match. I'm like, wait a minute. You want to join the Navy marksmanship team? You want to shoot an action shooting and represent the Navy, but you've never even shot a match? So that's a little frustrating, but it's an education point where I'm able to show those sailors the way, and I usually never hear from them again. But some of them I do, and it's pretty exciting. This all started about 3 years ago. Go back. It actually started about 10 years ago. I was trying to make a Navy marksmanship team when I was an ensign, and I feel that I was laughed out of the house essentially.
That's a butterball.
Yeah, butterbar.
Butterbar.
So at that point, I was like, okay, move on. I'll continue shooting the matches at the level that I am with the companies that I was representing at the time, and it worked out great for me. But I really had a desire to represent the Navy. I was in the Navy shooting these matches across the country, representing other companies. It just didn't add up to me. About 3 years ago, I revisited the topic with Commander John Marvell, who was the officer in charge at the time of the Navy marksmanship team. And he was also happened to be an explosive ordnance disposal officer. And he was much more embracing of the idea of the action team. So he gave me the blessing to have a match at the East Coast Championship for the Navy. They have a traditional CMP style shooting. And we had some action stages there on the SAT ranges in Quantico. And the Marines were so gracious to let us use their facility. And it's flourished since then. It started with myself and the HM1 Sean Buxton. And it's grown to about 10 guys on the East Coast, West Coast, and all throughout America, really. And we're trying to continue to grow. But the information is definitely, it's not overly publicized, but we are here and we are trying to grow, and we would like to increase the competitiveness of our team and increase the standards that are required to join the team. But that comes with time and the limited resources that we have. My expectations are realistic, although my hopes are high.
Yeah, it's like Fight Club. I'm just kidding. But
what happens
no,
at Fight Club stays at Fight Club.
Yeah, but the big thing too about not being publicized, it's a double-edged sword, right? It's not like the AMU or even the Air Force, they have their own, or Marines where it's a shore duty order where you just shoot. That's your full-time job. This is more of a collateral. But I remember I reached out to Jeremy. I was a new Lieutenant JG in Supply Corps School. I was like, hey, I want to do XYZ. And he's like, you need to get that world or national level match. I eventually did with World Speed Shooting Championship. But it's like that saying, I try my best not to say this to the CSs or culinary specialists, where somebody can give you the recipe, but you still got to cook. And what Jeremy and I have noticed are the people that actually cook. They put in the work. They're going to, go to these big matches. They're going to eat the humble pie and work towards those quals. And three, they understand the importance of representing the Navy, despite the adversity, because the Navy is traditionally a bullseye shooting team. So we're really, really happy to get action shooting. True. It attracts and it gets us a very, very good, well-rounded competitor to represent us. Like, even though there are 10 of us, it's, we can all count on each other. We can share tips, help each other with matches. And also we get people that are in this for the long run versus a shirt collector or somebody that just wants that fit rep bullet or eval bullet, or, a collateral thing, or to pad the resume. So I'm pretty happy with how selective we are. And even though that can be off-putting, we are also happy to help out. For example, the East Coast matches, we introduced Steel Challenge for the first time, because traditionally it was USPSA 3-gun shotgun action. On each of the stages, we had more than 70 scored competitors on practice score without any advance registration. And these are coming from, Coast Guard, Marines, NOAA, Freilich from the Air Force team actually came down. He helped us RO. So we're at a good point now where there is exposure. We have our own Instagram page, Navy Action Shooting, to cater more towards the action side of the house. And I've already got several PMs, but it's like what I said. You can give somebody the recipe, but they still have to cook. But what we've noticed is that the people that are willing to cook, they're good. We don't have to worry about it. But I'm excited for the growth. And Jeremy's been putting in a lot of work, because I think, remember that forum somebody said they tried to do action shooting in 2009 and it kind of fizzled out. I think now we have a bit more of a buy-in. On your last episode, you were wondering how our jerseys look like. This is how they look like. So if you see us on the range, that's what it is. But
so that's your actual jersey there?
Yeah.
Can we see the back? What's the back look like?
I'll let Marc be the model.
It's an eagle, and it says United States Navy Marksmanship Team.
Very nice.
One of our shooters, Jeffrey King.
We got the Gadsden flag and the Merkin flag here. So
Marc.
They allow the Gadsden on there in today's political realm in the military.
So here's the thing. It's not the first Navy Jack is actually the Don't Tread on Me snake. The ones with the red and white. So there is naval heritage attached to the Gadsden flag. I know in this day and age, people are kind of worried. They're kind of, hesitant and all of that. But the thing is, it's part of our tradition and heritage. And I've actually had maybe one or two comments, but they've been positive. Like, oh, that's cool. That's pretty awesome. And it turns out great.
It looks awesome. I love it.
Yeah. So we're pretty happy with this, and and also, I haven't heard anybody say anything about the Gadsden flag. Just one, but like I said, most people said, "Oh, that's awesome! You can have that on there." But that's how it is. Then again, the Navy, we change our camouflage all the time, so who knows? This is our second iteration of this jersey, so
wow. Okay.
I see,
Well,
why,
and
I see why those guys want to join the team to get a jersey. They look nice.
Yeah, you don't come in our sizes, man.
I know. It's like
What,
it's like,
civilian?
it's like the the NFL teams or the sports teams. Everybody wants to wear the jersey. Don't want to play for the team, but they want to play. Have that jersey on them. So, but those look nice. I have to say, those really look sharp. Really good.
One of our plank owners, retiree Jeffrey King, he designed these jerseys and helped me out. And when the team was first starting out, he was although he was a retired dive medical tech, first class petty officer, he was a staple in the Navy marksmanship action shooting team, and he still is to this day. And we're really lucky to have such a diverse team of active duty reservists and a couple grandfathered in retirees you'll see running around in this jersey as well.
Nice. I like it.
Pretty awesome.
I will say I haven't seen a military service jersey that doesn't look good. All 4 services that I've seen have all looked good.
Have we seen the Coast? Do they have it?
I've not seen a Coast Guard one, but the other 4, the normal
I've seen
4,
the Coast Guard one.
They're super secret.
Yeah. The only one I saw wearing a Coast Guard one was that I think it was Petty Officer D'Angelo, but he was shooting bullseye. So, yeah, it kind of looks like a cutter. So I thought that was neat.
I make fun of my brother for that. He's in the Coast Guard.
Okay.
All right. So I need to clarify something for the listeners. A commander is a lieutenant colonel. An HN1 is a HM1. I'm not sure if you said M or N, but that's an E6.
That's right.
And Lieutenant JG is a first lieutenant. So everybody's caught back up on the rank.
It's got the pirate ranks, man.
Did you know you have to?
So go ahead.
Did you know you have to be 6 foot tall to join the Coast Guard?
You have to be 6 foot tall to join to be a national champion, but that's because of their puddle pirates. They don't want to get their feet wet.
Well, it's that way. If the boat sinks, they can walk to shore.
Yeah, that way they don't get their pants all soaked.
That's right.
Oh, trust me, I tell my brother that all the time.
I've been in the Navy 17 years. I've never been on a ship in my life, by the way, but I still like the joke.
He lucked out. He lucked out.
What I will tell you is off camera, I'm gonna have to tell you another Coast Guard joke, but it's definitely not family friendly. So we'll
copy.
Yeah, since you guys are in, representing the Navy today, I'll save that for off.
Okay. My neighbor, who's right there, lives right next to me, was in the Navy, retired, never on a ship.
Yeah, I'll never be on a ship, most likely.
Ever.
Yeah,
I was like,
out.
whoa.
Yeah,
I was like, dude.
My brother-in-law, who's a reservist, he's supply guy also, and he's been to Bahrain and some ocean way over there somewhere, and yeah.
Yeah, so that's an interesting thing about the Navy. I think out of all the branches, like, the Army, you have their Order of the Spur, you got all of this. The Navy is probably the one with the biggest clicks. Like, for example, if you're an aviator or airside or an Airedale, you wear brown shoes with your khakis instead of black. I'm a supply officer, so my left collar insignia on my khakis is a Supply Corps emblem. It's a sprig of oak leaves with 3 acorns. It almost looks like a major lieutenant commander leaf, but then they see the 2 bars on the other side. It confuses people. The CBs, they got the CB thing on their camouflage, and then SEALs, they look like a bunch of freaking Viking extras, PTing. And it's really neat exploring the different subcultures of the Navy. So I'm not surprised that some people have never been on a ship or seen the ocean or been haze gray, but I think that's what's really cool about our branch of service, because there's so many subcultures and, communities with their own unique traditions, which is pretty awesome.
I spent 9.5 years on active duty in the Marine Corps, and your uniform, especially the officer's uniform, is the only one I struggled to figure out what in the world it all meant. So I knew the rank. Like, I can sit there and tell you can throw out a rank, I can tell you what it is. But looking at an officer's uniform, I'm like, I have no clue.
Yeah, it's a little confusing, but
especially the dress uniform. The dress uniform is what I'm talking about. That I just have zero clue.
Yeah, I'm jealous. The Marines still have their boat cloak. They got rid of ours in, I think, 2019. So I'm a little sad about that.
They got rid of it. Huh?
They have a garment that's got the word cloak in it.
Yeah, the boat cloak, the Marine Corps boat cloak. It's like a cloak and it's red inside. You look like Dracula wearing it. It's pretty awesome. I've seen only one Marine wear it, and it was very majestic. So,
He walked in. There was just a fan. It's just waving in the background.
Pretty much.
Was it
the Navy,
Dave?
No, the Navy had
No.
the Navy had a tiara for women at one point, which is pretty funny. One of my friends has one for lady officers. Jeremy knows what I'm talking about. They had a
He's denying. Don't bring me into this.
Jeremy,
No,
why
no,
do you
anything
know
about
what he's talking about?
you did 17 years. No, they had a tiara.
Oh,
We had a pith helmet. I mean, we had all sorts of. Weird
I've got a
stuff.
sword. That's all I know. I know about a sword.
A sword.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
yours
officer
a
sword.
saber though?
No, ours is
maybe.
a sword. It's a straight
Okay.
with a pointing edge. The
Okay.
Chiefs, they have a cutlass.
Ah,
Okay.
Where it's curved with
I
the
couldn't
knuckle
remember.
duster for hitting deck apes. So, yeah,
It's true.
The
the
attention
sword and
getter.
cutlass. Yeah,
All right. So it seems like you guys are very similar to the Air Force action shooting team, which is you don't have a centralized location or command. You're just wherever you're stationed.
exactly. And the dream would be, of course, to one day have a centralized command, but the reality is that probably won't happen in my or Mark's tenure in the Navy, but that would be the goal.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the Air Force, they were telling us, I spent a summer on the Marine Corps rifle team, so I understand how that works. The Air Force was saying they have to supply everything of their own. What about you guys? Does the Navy supply any guns, ammo, gear, anything?
So it's definitely on your own dime, out of your own pocket, to include the jersey. Mark bought that jersey he's wearing for probably $120. And it is what it is, but it comes with the pride in representing the Navy. The benefits come with possibly getting TAD orders from your command. We do have a Navy East Coast Championship. We've had 3 times hosted at Marine Corps Base Quantico, where ammunition is provided for competitors, for active duty competitors, particularly sailors. There's limited ammunition if you're in the Hampton Roads, Norfolk area, which I'm in, but there's very strict rules that surround that ammunition, where it's utilized, how far it can go, and it has to be expended on a certain date.
Mm-hmm.
So it really,
Wow.
it ends up being practice ammunition that has to be expended immediately.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
also
limited.
Yeah, it's also like standard duty M882 ammunition. So if you're shooting production and that's a little spicy. So your grip's going to get good. For PCCs, they seem to like them, but
Perfect.
I am perfect for PCCs. I'm
It
holding
is.
out. I'm not doing it yet. But I will say the Department of Homeland Security, they have 147 like grain match ammo. There's a Homeland Security agent that shoots for their team. She's local to me, and she's like, "Yo, check out the ammo that I get issued. It has its own box, Homeland Security, like with the own box, government use only, and it's 147 grain, like nice stuff." So
They have a team.
yeah,
Wow.
they do have a team. Yeah,
Homeland Security. Huh.
yeah.
Interesting.
Well, they
do
got
a lot
homeland
of,
money, so
Yeah, they do a lot of NRA action shooting, like Bianchi Cup or Shotgun or Bullseye, but they're dipping into USPSA, and I'll give Agent Abel some street cred because she rolled up shooting limited 10 with her Bianchi Cup gun and a race holster. So props.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like the sound of this lady already.
That's like a land anchor.
Oh yeah.
I know
Now-
the
Go ahead.
border patrol. The border patrol also has a team. If you were familiar with that, I was
Yeah.
stationed in Texas with some of those guys.
I did know that.
Okay.
They make me nervous. I don't know if it's because I'm Hispanic or what, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're probably okay. You got a Navy hat on anyway.
That's
You
true.
got a Navy hat.
I do actually have a Border Patrol beanie. I'm gonna have to find that if we ever get them on the show.
A
They'll
similar.
be like,
Yeah.
no, guys, it's fine.
Just blend in.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can find something on the line.
Yeah.
Now, you guys said you can get TAD orders for matches. What about training? Have either one of you had the opportunity to take any training classes with any of these other shooters like JJ or somebody, and do you think you could even get TAD orders for that?
So I think at my previous command as a recruiter, my commanding officer is extremely liberal with my time because I was a successful recruiter, and because of that, they let me do what I wanted. And I'm sure I could have. I've never taken a shooting class. I have read a book. Believe it was by Lonnie Barnes.
Bassam.
Bassam. Yeah, I don't know the name, but it was a good book. It was mainly about the mental mindset. That's what I took away from it, and having a positive attitude towards shooting and walking away from the bad and remembering the good, essentially. But beyond that, no classes for me. Opportunity for classes would probably be out of pocket, and then trying to sell it to your CO. Again, if you were a star performer, it could happen. But if not, probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
I think Marc is the complete opposite. I think he's had some experience.
Yeah, I take some classes because I have this irrational fear that I'm going to be put in a situation where I have a firearm and I don't know how to use it. But I like teaching and helping people out. When I checked into this command, I actually said, "Hey, I'd like these days off so I can go to Steve Fisher, Sentinel Concepts." I think he was doing a rifle class. So Jeremy and the other team members, they encourage me to shoot a rifle. So I'll tell you right now, I'm a better handgun shooter than I am with a rifle. You hand me a rifle, it's like, what kind of Glock is this? What do I do with it? I have to put this on my shoulder.
Barrel.
Yeah, but no, like I said earlier, and I encourage this to sailors too, if they're interested in the team. If you're a solid performer, you can get that buy-in. It can be a great cloaking device too. Like people are like, oh, well, at my command, like Marc shoots for the Navy, leave him alone. Or, hey, you want to do this? That's fine. I'm actually taking an AK class with Steve Fisher in August, and my command's more than happy to let me go there. But like I said, you got to just be able to back it up. And just to segue too, for sailors and people looking at joining the Navy team, don't, or even anything else with shooting, don't let what your job is or what your title stop you, because titles, jobs, career, it doesn't automatically bestow skill. I mean, I've had it too where people are like, oh, you're that supply officer that shoots a lot, or, Jeremy has bigger patience than me because I can't even imagine the people that bug him for being a nurse, but, he's a USPSA Grand Master. But, we've got people on the team. We've got information specialists, divers, CBs, other supply officers, NCIS techs, but they perform and they do well. So whether the sailor is a gunner's mate or, they're a fire controlman or even a bosun's mate, that shouldn't stop, or yeoman, that shouldn't stop you from trying out for the team and being the best you are. I do kind of giggle though, because I've gone to some classes where people make side comments where like, oh, what's with all these accountants wearing, duty rigs and all of that stuff? They're never going to use it. But I'm like at the 1% where I literally am an accountant that has to use a duty rig. So I think it's pretty funny. Yeah.
Now, because of sea duty, what's the turnover like on the team? Or do you guys just not replace that person? You wait for them to come back off of sea duty?
So that's a great question, and that's something Marc and I discussed actually after listening to the Air Force episode.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely have deference for the Air Force, and they're a highly intelligent branch of service, I think.
But they don't read either.
Yeah, I was like, trust me, they don't read either. Yeah.
But so historically, we've just had you're on the team. But after listening to that episode, I think and as our team grows, we're going to adopt if you're not shooting a couple major matches a year and actually participating in shooting sports, then you'll be on the legacy team, and we'll have the active component team who is hopefully be more inclined to have some resources, the limited resources that we do have to share.
Yeah, because we got a couple team members that are going back to the ship, like NC1 and Chief Brandt, but it's a consideration. But then again, most of the people we do attract on the team, even though they're on sea duty, they make the time to still actively participate in the sport and do their best to make time to make big matches or take leave. So I think that's something Jeremy and I will keep in consideration.
Of course, for sea duty and deployments, they would always be on the active team until they were back for a year and then not participating. We would have to make that consideration. But
So fun fact, Jeremy, if anybody goes IA to another country, I know I was staying up late one night. Bagram Air Force Base, they actually have a USPSA club there.
What? So
really, Yeah, Bagram action shooters. That's what they're called. Because I was seeing these
Wow.
videos, and when I was stationed in Virginia, I would shoot with a lot of like Green Berets, and I'd creep on they'd show me videos and stuff. I'm like, that looks nothing like the United States, and they're shooting USPSA stages. There is a USPSA club, Bagram Air Force Base, where they do shoot. So, I mean, I think that'd be something cool or something to have, because I've had some sailors approach me like, hey, what about if I'm in Japan, or what if I'm in, Hawaii? But, the Air Force, being as smart as they are, Hurlburt Air Force Base, they have a USPSA and IDPA club. They actually have a shooting range. I asked my Air Force buddy, yo, where's the shooting range? And he's like, it's next to the Arts and Crafts building. I thought he was messing with me, but no, he was right. There's an Arts and Crafts building, shooting range, and there are some installations that have their own clubs. So, I mean, that would be a fun thing to have on the side, get MWR and the base installation involved in, just to promote the shooting sports and also keep people sharp if they want to. But I don't know. That's a mad street cred if you shot a match at Bagram Practical Shooters. I think that's what the code is for that.
I thought you made street cred if they shot at the Arts and Crafts building. I was like,
that's an interesting conversation. I think I'm gonna get my arts and crafts on this weekend.
Yeah.
Code word.
Code word.
Mm-hmm. So here's another question then. Speaking of the future of the Navy team, so my question was, when we had Julie Golub on, we talked about the AMU and how it was highly competitive. So I know, there was the challenge with the sea duty and then having a requirement to have to shoot. Is there their requirement for them, because, they get recruited and things like that, that if they don't continue to improve or maintain a status where they're improving, then they can lose their slot to someone else who is better. So I guess what I'm saying is, you said the minimum requirement would be a B class in USPSA. Well, if all your quote unquote slots were filled and you had someone coming in who was an A or a master, would you then be looking to turn over with someone else?
So, currently we don't even have a capped number of slot. We're in such the infancy stages of development. If there was a master that wanted to join, it would be a snap of a finger, and they're now on the Navy team, as long as they would be an ambassador for the sport, right?
Okay.
And the Navy, of course, a professional representative. But I don't foresee a cap being put on anytime soon, but I do foresee, if it grew that big, to have legacy members who were no longer active, but performance requirements beyond that of what is currently set, and then hopefully will be increasing, I don't think will be.
So just a minimum.
Yeah, a minimum.
Okay.
And also, like, there's the whole person concept too. I mean, if you're, A or M, I mean, we're not going to cut you because you can't make GM, but you're going to matches and you're representing in a good light.
That's right.
And with the Army marksmanship units, you have to understand that is their one job. That is their billet. They build Olympic athletes. They are recruited for certain disciplines. I've even heard stories from members where they were recruited, for example, trap and skeet, and then they don't improve, and then they put them in CMP bullseye for them to do something else. So, like what Jeremy said, we're at that infancy stage where we don't have that intense pressure where it's like, hey, if you're not cutting the mustard, like, pack your bags, you're done. But us being in that infancy, we have the opportunity to create a culture where we will have shooters that want to be on the team. They're going to put in the work. And I don't think that's going to be an issue until like way later, down the line. But it gives work for our current shooters to show that standard, to show, hey, you're representing the Navy. Let's just do the best we can. There's not going to be as immense pressure, because at the end of the day, for now, it's a collateral duty. Who knows? Maybe 20 years from now, when I have kids and one of them wants to go to the Navy or shoot professionally, instead of steering them towards the AMU, I could steer them towards the Navy. Unicorns, butterflies, and awesomeness. But with right now, we don't have that that pressure and points to just cut people willy-nilly.
And we don't have the carrot. There's no carrot for them. We have no resources to really hold over their head to actually make them or help them to get good. It's all on your own will and your own personal drive to get better, to represent the Navy, and to shoot it. So beyond that, it'd be hard to hold an incentive like, hey, you're not improving, you're off the team. We absolutely not at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. So how many of you are there on just the action shooting team?
Approximately 10.
And you're the team captain?
I am.
And you guys have a Lieutenant Colonel who's the OIC. Now, does he oversee all of the shooting teams?
So Commander Dave Mahalik is the commander in charge of the entire Navy marksmanship team.
Okay.
And we fall under him, and he's been a great resource for us in really allowing us to have our East Coast Championship at Quantico, and kind of he's been the foot in the door for all of this. And prior to him, of course, Commander Marvell. So him and I liaison together frequently for the limited resources that there are, or to actually host the East Coast Championship match. We'll communicate. We'll communicate prior to doing something like this. Casual Shooters podcast. I'll just say, hey, sir, is it okay if we do this? And he'll give us his blessing. But beyond that, we're our own entity, but we're absolutely part of the Navy marksmanship team, and we want to be part of the whole Navy marksmanship team, because that's what really legitimizes us as being Navy shooters or competitors.
So where is Commander
Commander Mahalik? Yes, I don't know exactly. He's in Little Creek somewhere. I don't know exactly his job.
Okay, so he's in the
that,
Virginia Beach area.
Yeah,
he's
We
in
probably
that.
shouldn't talk about it anymore then.
Yeah.
I know where Little Creek is, and I know,
somewhere.
having spent time in Marine reconnaissance, I know what goes on at Little Creek, so we're good.
Yeah. My ship was
Exists.
actually out of Little Creek, so that's always fun. I never had to drive to Norfolk, thank God. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what every person that's ever gone to Norfolk has ever said. Don't ever want to have to drive there again.
Yeah.
Especially
When I got
summertime.
With that said, about mentioning Little Creek, I think it would be the Navy has the resources, and they have the talent, they have the youth, and those driven people of all the branches. Of course, those Navy SEALs, if they wanted to be competitors, and the Navy SEAL commanders wanted the Navy to have a competitive shooting team, I think we would be formidable opponents to the Army Marksmanship Unit, the Marine shooting team, and the Air Force shooting team, because of the resources they have, the physique, the drive, everything. Those guys would have it.
Yeah, absolutely. The time they put into it, they dedicate to it. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
To anything they wanted to
go win, they'd be like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that again goes back to the dream. That would be a dream, but getting the buy-in from those commanders would be. I don't even know how to go talk to those commanders to make something like that happen. That'd be pretty cool, though.
Well,
it's really easy. Just win the national championship and say, "Look what I got."
He's an idea man more than a putting it into action man.
Yeah.
So.
Another thing too is the recruitment. So I've noticed that the Navy likes to throw in a lot of their resources for recruiting. So you have the all Navy basketball team, the all Navy soccer team, all Navy baseball team. We even have a electronic gaming team just for recruiting, and they got resources. I had one sailor. He's like, "Hey man, where are you going?" It's like, I got orders to Millington, sir. It's like, what you going to be doing in Millington recruiting? It's like, yeah, I'm going to be part of the electronic gaming team. I was like, what? It was like, so, but yeah, like what Jeremy said, I think if we had that, buy-in, it could be seen as a recruiting tool. I think, the sky's the limit when it comes to that. So it's pretty hopeful, but it's just gonna take some time and effort on our part.
Well, hopefully this helps.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's happening.
Yeah.
There's actually a former Navy SEAL in the area who competes in local matches. He's a GM, I believe. He either shoots limited or production. I think it's limited. He's a good guy.
So, what area are you local to, Dave?
Northern Virginia, Quantico,
Okay.
actually.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think I might know who you're talking about. Does he run a Kai guns? Like if he's running around with a Akai open gun or an Akai limited gun, I know exactly who you're talking about. The guy looks like freaking 6'2" of human growth hormone, and he's a monster. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's not quite that tall, but yeah, he's
That's why he's not a
probably
national champion.
my age, and he's still built.
Okay.
So early, probably 50 or
Oh, okay.
Ish.
Now I'm thinking about somebody a little bit younger. So, all right.
Mid younger,
A smidge.
a little bit. David Metal.
and his first name is David as well. So
Okay.
Nice.
okay. We've asked that. Now I did notice that when I was I did find the Navy marksmanship team Facebook page, and I saw a picture. Actually, it was an Instagram page of a female sailor wearing a tiger stripe shooting jacket. I mean, that right there was a recruiting tool for me, because tiger stripe is like the leopard print fashion statement for dudes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys should change everything to tiger stripe.
Is it the tiger stripe pants?
It was a shooting jacket.
Okay. Yeah. So, if you're in Northern Virginia, Quantico Shooting Club, do you know? Do you shoot with Joseph Levy? He's a Marine officer. He's usually running around with Jeremy knows who I'm talking about. He usually runs around with a Chambers Night Fighter. The last match he shot up at Quantico, he's wearing tiger stripe pants. So
Nice.
yeah, keep an eye out. He's about that. Good people. I think you two get along.
Absolutely. Anybody wearing tiger stripe, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
I'm all about the tiger stripe. It's like a random thought, but I saw that on the Instagram. I'm like, what? Oh, goodness.
I just think you're saying tiger stripe. I'm thinking of like a woman in leopard print pants. So I don't know what we're talking about. It's over my head, guys.
It's tactical leopard print pants, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Think Vietnam era camouflage.
Yeah, it's like these bad boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have. Do you guys have any questions for them?
Oh, actually, yeah. So I had one. Well, I had two, but really one. So you guys have talked about the different rates and stuff that you guys have. So Mark, you do supply. Jeremy, nurse, right?
Yep.
So I heard you mention a couple of the other shooters that are HM, so medical field, DMT, which is be difficult rate to get. Are there do you know all the rates that everybody on your team has?
I could take a stab at this, Jeremy.
Yeah. Give it a try. I could try too.
Jeremy's just like calculating. So we've got the Navy diver. We've got a CB. We've got a couple of CBs. We've got a retired ET LDO that's working as a tech at a alphabet agency. We have another supply officer, Lieutenant Kwong. He's going reserves. I kind of get annoyed because he's Asian American like me. He's a little shorter and he's in a lot better shape, so people confuse us all the time. But he shoots carry optics and limited eye shoot open, so that'll be it.
So there.
We've got several corpsmen, which is good to have on the range. Just
like four corpsmen, I think.
Yeah, 4 corpsmen. We have a retired information specialist that actually is distinguished at CMP, Michael Caprioni. He
both
and
dual.
King.
He's distinguished both pistol and rifle.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
pistol and rifle. So he's helping us out. I think I'm trying to recruit a submariner as well. But
It's Submariner.
So I didn't want to correct him while he was in the middle of his thing, man.
it's all right. I like my boats over the water. So yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Agreed.
I'm
now you see what I'm talking about, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Okay, the Tiger Stripe. Yeah. It looks like I think that was the West Coast match.
That's something that's authorized. It's like a uniform item.
No, that's a shooting jacket.
Okay.
You know how at range days we can
Yes.
have optional
Of
equipment like these bad boys, like my Pit Vipers.
Yeah.
They're Z87 rated, but
Yeah, it's a CMP shooting jacket.
I got it.
yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
I didn't want to be labeled leopard print, so I had to
Leopard print.
clarify.
Tactical leopard print.
Tactical. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. And yeah, I think those are the rates we have. I know we had a couple that are looking in, but I don't know their rates. But
Okay.
yeah.
And then so a couple of follow-ups. Oldest shooter, youngest shooter, and how long have you got? And how long has like the longest tenure on the team?
Ooh.
So I would say the oldest is got to be, it's between the three retired guys, without a doubt. But I don't know which is oldest.
I think it's
I'm-
Caprione.
I'm gonna say it's Caprioli, but he might come after us for that. But
It's okay.
think it's
I tried to
Caprioli.
get content for the Throwback Thursday post I want to make tomorrow, and I was like, "Hey, Cap, you got any pictures of you and Nam?" He ha-ha'd at it, so I think we're safe.
Okay.
But
He's like, "Ah, probably in my drawer on the okay.
he opens a shadow box.
And the youngest, that's a good question. I'm not sure who the youngest would be. Is Cole Hornback? How old is he? I
I want to say it's between him and Martin, because I think Martin's
probably young.
Martin's like 20. He graduated from the academy at 2015. So
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, like the academy.
the Navy Academy.
Yeah, like midshipman and everything.
Survivor. Yeah. Lord of the Flies. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, so the Naval Academy, it was in 2019 when we had our action shooting match. The midshipmen,
Oh yeah.
they destroyed it with action shooting. They love 3-gun. They love running around. And they do have a really, really good bullseye team too, because they traditionally teach bullseye at the Naval Academy, and they do have a team. And a lot of them, they get leg points. But when we introduced some of them to action shooting, they just got hooked. Even this year, they were running and gunning. They loved it. So
They actually have a social media page. Just saying.
Okay.
I could find more, but you guys have the greatest OPSEC ever, because I could find stuff about them and everybody else, but not you two.
So
Fight Club.
Marc Santos actually. Marc Santos just started the Navy action shooting Instagram page, and he's going to be he's very enthusiastic about posting things and whatnot. So hopefully we'll be more publicized for people to find information about us in the very near future.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that it grows organically. I've noticed some government pages. I've caught them buying followers. So.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh man, if we had the money, we totally would. No, I'm kidding. We wouldn't.
I
We're never going to have that kind of money.
Yeah, I was just like, no, let's not. It's better to grow it organically, and the fact that I made that page, the Navy action shooting one, only like on Monday, and we've
you got a bunch of stuff on there already.
Yeah, we've got like 6 posts. Casey Eusebio shared like my conversation I had with him. He put like "Happy Birthday, Army," and then I messaged him. It's like fine, I'll allow it. I put the heart, and then he like reposted. It's like, "I love you too, Navy action shooting." Julie Golub follows us as well, and it's pretty fun, and it's helping me practice my prowess when it comes to advertising and helping out and spreading more awareness for the team. So I'm not
Absolutely.
at the HK Media Girl level yet, but we'll see. We'll have fun with it. And
You gonna start doing your TikTok Navy dance stuff?
No, TikTok's owned by China. No TikTok. I tell all my sailors to uninstall it. No TikTok.
Yeah.
No TikTok for you.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Not gonna do
Well,
it.
we've talked to
Wouldn't be
exactly
pretty-
half of the people that you've talked to between Julie and Casey.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If I had a TikTok, the PLA intelligence agents would probably be laughing at my memes, but no, not TikTok.
But yeah. So of the two of you, so shellback, that's when you've gone across something, yeah, right?
Equator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One. Oh, okay.
Yeah. What about any other shellbacks? Let me see if I can get my
Dave, no.
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 I'm definitely not.
I've been to the
yeah.
Mediterranean on ship, but
Yeah.
and I've done a bunch of stuff in
polywogs.
Sea of Japan.
Yeah, shellback ceremony. It's a fun time. I told my wife about it. She's like, "Oh, what are you doing tomorrow?" It's like, "Oh, I'm doing the crossing the line ceremony."
Right.
And she Googled it and found the Wikipedia page. And
Most accurate information ever.
I got back to a very concerned email. She's like, "What do you mean they beat you with fire hoses and electrocute you?" I was like, "What?"
It's only electrocution if you die, technically.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's a nurse. He knows.
Yeah.
But did you die? That's how we end every paramedic class. But did you die though? No, you're fine. Just rub some dirt on it.
It's all right. It's internal bleeding. That's where the blood's supposed to be. You'll be fine. Yeah.
Real Karate Man bleed on the inside.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I had.
Yeah, shellback ceremony. It's fun. If there's anyone that's in the Navy that's nervous about it, don't be too scared. You're gonna have fun with it. It's a great experience. Plus, you can be like salty Joe Navy after it, so it's a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, you only have to do it once.
Yep, only once.
What you got, Chris?
Like living.
Well, a lot of my questions were answered already. But do you guys have and maybe I might have missed it, but the services ever decide like, oh, let's have our own inter-services competition and see who has got the better shooters, and just for fun, nothing, but just for fun, kind of like an Army Navy type thing,
It's never for fun.
So I definitely wouldn't be for fun if I went. I would be there to win, at least attempt.
Yeah, I don't know where he got that idea from. I'm sorry.
Well,
It's original, man.
But it would be fun winning. So
I'll go for fun.
Right. I was trying to be nice about it. I mean, you don't want to be that bully.
Inter-service rivalry is not nice.
So I went to a match in, I believe it was at Sir Walter USPSA. I've been practicing up for, I want to say I signed up for Area 5. I think that's one coming up. And so I shot that match. And while I was there was a Marine Corps major wearing a jersey. I believe his name was Major Hichak or Hitchcock.
Tim Hichak.
Hichak,
He runs the USPSA matches at Quantico now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he ran something by me that I hadn't thought of previously, and it was about having the Air Force, Army, Marine Corps, and the Navy shooting teams hosted at Quantico for a inter-service action shooting competition. Several USPSA stages, several rifle stages, say 3-gun stages, long-range stages, and it may be a bit ambitious, but he mentioned having it as soon as next summer, which would be awesome. And hopefully we can participate in that, and hopefully it can come together.
I'm calling that we get to go there and do a broadcast. Calling it TM.
Well, and I will say, I don't know. I don't
Right.
really know how ambitious that really is. I mean, they already host the inter-service rifle matches every summer, and he's already started a monthly USPSA shoot, a steel challenge, and they're doing PRS now there as well.
Oh, wow.
So it wouldn't be hard. I mean, he posts stuff on Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah.
All the different steel targets he's making and everything he's creating for all that stuff. So
The
he
barricades,
has been
everything.
busting his butt.
They have it. The SAPs at Quantico, they have everything we need.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of coordinating and making it happen. And I you're right.
Yep.
He's the right person for the job, and I'm sure he could reach out to the Army because the Navy's already RSVP'd. So
Yeah. Yeah.
We are SVP too, in case anybody that didn't have was wondering.
And
We're inviting ourselves.
yeah. Fun fact with Marines, they can actually earn EIC points shooting now. It's so cool. Yeah.
and that's another one of our goals is to try to have EIC points or earn the Distinguished Rifle Badge or the Pistol Badge. Again, emulating what the Marine Corps does. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel over here. We have full-time jobs, but we're jumping on the Air Force bandwagon, the Marine Corps bandwagon, getting some tidbits from them all.
Yeah, but it's every parent's dream, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Like
Taking
you want
away
your children to be better than you. So
we just want to take away from best practices of the other services and create our own.
Well, I tell you,
Very nice.
I wish our job would listen to that, because I tell you, he could learn a lot from not reinventing the wheel.
That's an off-camera conversation.
Oh, I said, did I say it on camera? Oh,
Are you both paramedics? Is that right?
All three of us.
Oh, all three of you are paramedics. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow.
I am the only one riding a medic unit right now.
You don't need to be hurtful about it, man.
I do.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
I teach at Dave and I used to teach at the academy together. Dave went back to being on he was a real man. He's back on a medic unit. I just teach people how to do it because I'm mediocre at best, and Huggy can't fit on a medic unit anymore. And I'm just saying his knee. Well, because his knees don't work. He can't get up. Yeah,
thank you. Well put. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
actually
try to be nice.
Actually, I just got transferred into the fire marshal's office, so that's where I'm going.
Yeah, so
Wow,
I got
very
I got
cool.
a question for you three. Y'all shoot USPSA and active members?
Yeah.
I emailed my area director and some other ones, and I ran this idea with Jeremy. I'm actually seeing if they'll consider adding a veteran category for awards because there are a lot of them that actively participate in USPSA. So shameless plug, if you want to email your area coordinator and do all that, I think it'd be a good thing for the sport and all of
Yeah,
that.
I agree.
Yeah.
We can put
I
that
think
in
that
there
will.
because they all follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, I already sent like an email, but I mean, if you want to send one too, I think it'd be pretty cool and it'd be fun. Yeah.
I think I may even mention you in the email that you've already done it with your area director.
All right.
So
to
and
piggyback,
just
to
saying, I
piggyback
think,
off of what Lieutenant Santos said.
and just say, I agree that I think it's a good idea to add that in there.
Yeah, because there's a lot
Absolutely.
of veterans that have been my mentors, and I squatted with a couple at Area 5 Steel Challenge. And I'm like, you know what? I think this would be a good idea.
I agree.
Yeah, that would be good.
Sweet.
Well, that's
Man,
all
we
I
are
have.
just brainstorming. I
I'm
love
good.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's all I got. I'm bueno.
So, gentlemen, any last comments or anything you'd like to plug, or the airwaves are yours?
Not particularly for me. I appreciate you guys having us on the show, and it was a pleasure speaking with y'all. And I'm really glad Marc Santos was able to join us because this would have been a really boring show had he not come.
We can make anything exciting. Trust me.
It's a good time. But no, thank you for having us, gentlemen, and thanks for all your service for the general public and also before. It's really good, and we're pretty humbled to be here, and at least now you get to see what our jerseys look like, because I know y'all were curious because we're like Sasquatch
Absolutely.
or the abominable snowman, but
Exactly.
we exist. We're here. Loch Ness monster.
So, Jeremy, you're going to be at Area 5 next weekend?
So Area 5's not till August. I'll be the majors I have on the schedule. Area 5.
Area 8 then. That's Area 8.
Okay. Must be. I have no idea. I just sign up for stuff and show up. So
What
area
day-
Area 8.
Edwin.
What day
Area
are
8.
you shooting? Because I'm shooting Area 8. Well, I'll find you on practice score. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
honestly, I don't even know, man. I have to look on this thing. So
You
but I'll
might
show
need to
up.
know the day.
But it's not till like August. So Area 8, Virginia State.
I'll check in September.
Memorial. Yeah, that's funny. Memorial 3-gun is a very cool 3-gun match. I know you guys aren't 3-gunners, but it's probably the coolest 3-gun match I've ever been to. Speaking for myself, not for the Navy, but it supports a great cause. And it sold out in, I think, 8 minutes or maybe 2 minutes. Whatever the case, they don't have a problem filling up. It's an amazing match. And then Fort Benning 3-gun. Those are the majors I'll be shooting in the next several months.
All right, so we didn't cover that. What guns do you shoot in 3-gun?
So I shoot a Benelli M2 shotgun that's tricked out with a Triangle Shooting Sports package. That's Benny Hill out of Texas. Then I brought my pistol is a 6-inch STI. This is a 9mm. I have another one in 40 caliber as well, which I never shoot. But this is also made by Benny Hill.
Benny Hill.
Benny
I thought he
Hill,
was a
not the
comedian.
comedian, not the comedian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, and he did.
He's a good friend of mine, and he was one of my mentors when I first started really competitive shooting in Corpus Christi, Texas, and he was so kind to build me a couple guns back in the day, and I really enjoy them. They shoot, and yeah, I've been shooting the same guns really for about 10 years. I don't change. Same
man than me.
Same everything.
And shoot the carbine you showed us earlier?
That's right. Yeah, the JP CTR02 presentation grade.
How much does it weigh?
It's great. It's very heavy.
What?
I don't know how much it weighs. It's a medium. It's a rifle length, 18-inch barrel, medium contour. It's a boat anchor, but the way it's tuned, it has zero recoil. I've had the Marine Corps shooting team, the previous guys on it. They said they'd never shot a rifle with such little recoil, and that added a little bit of. It quantified some of what I already knew. So,
Right.
or
Yeah. I mean, the
qualified.
heavier you make the gun, the less the recoil is going to be.
Yeah, you can swing the gun fine unless you're real weak. So it's easy.
If you can't swing the gun and you're in the military, you should probably leave.
Yeah.
All right, Marc, what did you grab?
So for carry optics, I have a heavily modified M17, stippling by bore sight and gray guns trigger. The light, I mean, I could take it or leave it, but Big Tex Outdoor sent me this one, so I'm just gonna be quiet and color. I like it a lot, but for open, the gun I shot at Buckeye Blast, I actually got this from John Vlieger. It's a 9 Major. It's built on a CK frame, and Pat Rafferty actually installed the new compensator on it, and Drew Hyder actually helped me out with the trigger. But I have a Rafferty custom being built. It should be done later this summer, but those are the main two I go with. I like the Glocks a lot, but unfortunately the grip angle between the 2011 and the Wilson SIG, it's much more similar, so I could kind of cross between the two. But I'll be shooting this one at Nationals in October, and if I want to play around with open and go for that major power factor, I'll be shooting open. But those are my main two, and I have a backup for each one, so no more switching guns for me in a minute.
Is your
We'll
new
see.
gun going to be a 9 Major?
Yes, it'll be 9 Major. I shoot black dot ammunition. It's a little spicy. It's like 180 power factor.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I went to Buckeye Blast and I got 9 Major from black dot ammunition. Lee and Alan are friends of mine and we share dog pictures a lot. But he said, "Don't worry, man. This will make power factor." And
That's an understatement.
yeah, so I was just
It'll definitely do it.
You actually won the chronograph war.
No, I didn't. Somebody was shooting 190. I got edged out by somebody shooting 190, and I was talking to Rick Steele, the Area 5 director, about so back in the day with IPSC, a lot of people were shooting, single stack 1911s and 38 Super or 9x21 or 45 to make that major power factor. Guess what some mad lads were experimenting with? 9 millimeter. So major in IPSC, before it became USPSA, was 175 power factor. There were people out there modifying Browning high powers, reloading ammunition. They were mixing powders just to try to make it get major power factor out of a Browning high power, just because it was the only name in town that had a double stack magazine. So yeah, they were blowing those guns up like left and right. I was like,
yeah, that's a disaster.
I love the Browning high
Literally
power.
blowing up.
Yeah,
Just to be very clear.
Yeah.
The 1911 won 2 world wars. The Browning high power fought itself in a world war and still won. So yeah, it's good. And also service pistols. I'm sorry, Dave, but I actually like the Beretta, but that's only because of the double action.
You were doing so well.
Now I got to edit them out of the entire.
Oh man, there's just gonna be a weird blank screen where you were.
It's okay. You know what? I'm gonna post up a Throwback Thursday video about the Beretta. But no, the only reason I like it's that the double and single action on it break at about the same point. And the first time I shot one of those in the Navy, so coming from a polymer, USP 9 trigger, double single action, to a Beretta with a metal trigger, it's just like, oh, this is nice. So, I mean, it is what it is.
I can see that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They just had, and as I said in the other podcast, they had a lot of issues when they first came into the military.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we even heard about the story where a SEAL actually got hit in the forehead by the slide where the pin broke.
I know a Green Beret that got hit in the face by one. Chris Alvarez, he shoots tactical games. I think he teaches for Green Ops.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ever interview him, ask him, like, hey, Lieutenant Santos said that you love the M9. Because I brought one to class with me with Steve Fisher, and he saw it. And it was like that scene in Saving Private Ryan where he's at the gravestone. he had that look on his face
for a different reason.
Yeah, and he pulled me aside and he told me what happened to him. So yeah, it's pretty gnarly. I can.
Yeah, I would just ask him, hey, how's your face?
Yeah.
Some Navy guy, just say some Navy guy said you like the M9. Just hold no. Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cool.
Well, gentlemen, that's all we got. Thank you very much for coming on. We greatly apprate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you all as well. Have a wonderful night.
I appreciate it. All you guys do.
Thanks. Laters.
Later.
Until next time.
Don't be a little bitch.
Yeah.